It's exceedingly hard for me to place a label on what we've heard other than racketeering. Good old-fashioned mobster racketeering. But on a grand scale, I know that President Trump, once he arrived at the swamp, said, okay, how am I going to clear this thing? I don't know that he realized that the plug is so deep there's not enough chain. One of my favorite statements comes from James Madison. If men were angels, no government would be needed, would be necessary. If angels were to govern men, neither external nor internal controls on government would be necessary. In framing a government which is to be administered by men, over men, the great difficulty lies in this. You must first enable the government to control the governed, and the next place, oblige it to control itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not seen one single government entity in the United States ever give up a scintilla of power once it seized it. Not once. We have endless executive orders from mayors, from governors, and I'm not hooting on our governor, I'm hooting on all governors. You don't have the authority to make me safe. That's my job. My wife is not going to let me say this, but as I look around this room, I'll substitute a word. I'm absolutely outraged by the excuse that's been used for an 800-person ballroom to be limited to 160 people. Now let me turn to the vote the election that we've been talking about. It's interesting to me, I'm going to repeat this, why so many people call for civil rights to be fortified, to be enforced, to be protected, but there's virtually no call for the most supreme civil right, and that is for our franchise to give the consent to be governed. That's what Mr. Madison was talking about. That's what our entire government, 5,000-year leap, if this goes away, God help us, because it will be gone. Because you will have to have at least a few men to stand on a green and fire their rifles at the best military machine ever conceived in the 1700s. Think about that for a moment. They knew if there was going to be a war, let it start here. That was a conscious decision. Why? Because they were sick and tired of tyranny. What we're experiencing right now is a form of tyranny that is insidious. This is our nation. This nation doesn't belong to Belgium. History judge us as acting objectively today. I love the fact that this panel has been so objective that they have, I mean, we're at 7:20. I hope that out of this, besides calling for a special session, which I am doing right now, yes. I hope even more than a special session, we see a series of grand juries convened. Yes, sir. There is so much criminal behavior that has gone on in this state and states around the country. I believe that it is time for our Attorney General and the U.S. Attorney to start perp walking some people. Amen. I am glad that you are fired up. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a skirmish. You ain't seen nothing yet. Because when Satan wants to extinguish a light, he will stop at nothing. So be on your guard, put on the full armor of God, and be prepared to fight. Thank you.